Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. And we begin with an historic beatdown by the Bulldogs. What had been hyped as a David versus Goliath national championship between defending champ Georgia and the underdog Horned Frogs of TCU all went Goliath's way. The final score, Georgia 65, TCU 7. Giving Coach Kirby Smart, walk-on quarterback Stetson Bennett, and the rest of the Dogs the very rare honor of back-to-back titles. The last school to do that was Alabama in 2011 and 2012. Interestingly enough, when Coach Kirby was there as the Tide's defensive coordinator. To pro football now, and what has turned into the feel-good story of the season. Damar Hamlin, the player who collapsed on the field 8 days ago, is back in Buffalo with, quote, a lot of love in his heart. The 24-year-old safety was released from the University of Cincinnati Medical Center yesterday and flown to a hospital near the Bills Stadium to continue his recovery. Doctors say he's been walking since last Friday and taking part in therapy, and that they're ecstatic with his progress. Today's the day for Prince Harry to officially spill the royal tea. His much-anticipated tell-all Spare, which is in reference to his backup position as heir to the British throne, is now in bookstores. The prince has already made the rounds on TV, including 60 Minutes, which means many details on why he ditched his country and famous family have already been released. Host Anderson Cooper noted that the network did ask Buckingham Palace for comment to balance out Sunday night's report, but representatives for the king said they would consider a statement only if given a chance to preview the story prior to air. And that, Mr. Cooper told his viewers, is something we never do. So far, there's been no response to Harry's version of events from his father, King Charles, his older brother, Prince William, or anyone else in the royal circle. Prince Harry may have more on his mind than his memoir. His entire adopted community of Montecito, California, was ordered to evacuate yesterday due to a relentless parade of atmospheric rivers, wet, windy weather, and the threat of flooding and mudslides. It's much the same up and down the coast of California, with very little let-up expected until the weekend. Desperately needing some of that rain, the Great Salt Lake in Utah. Conservationists say without immediate help, it might vanish in the next 5 years. A new report puts the blame on too much water being taken out, coupled with a multi-year drought. At its peak in 1986, the lake size was measured at about 2,400 square miles. Now it's down to just 941, with half the lake bed exposed. You probably haven't heard the name Jude Kofi, but there's a good chance you soon might. The 11-year-old who never had a piano lesson plays, by one description, at Mozart level. The youngster, who is autistic, lives in Aurora, Colorado. One day he found an old keyboard in the basement and started playing it like he'd been doing it all his life. A local television station ran a story, and that's when the notes really started to fly. Soon, a baby grand piano showed up at his house, a gift from Bill Magnuson, a local piano tuner who is also paying for Jude to get professional instruction. Where did the talent come from? Jude calls it a miracle, and Mr. Magnuson clearly agrees. He told CBS News that he believes the youngster might be a once-in-a-generation musical genius. Remember the girl from LA who applied for and received a license to keep a unicorn in her backyard? Well, Madeline's outreach to animal control, as well as the department's thoughtful response, has struck a nerve. A man from Great Britain who read the now viral story posted, "I would just like to thank LA County for reducing me to a blubbering, weeping mess. I'm a 6-foot, 240-pound piece of British meat who has seen his fair share of nastiness. Animals and humans alike should be grateful as you make the world a better place." The county's Animal Care Foundation is now riding that wave of goodwill and has set up Madeline's Unicorn Fund, where people can donate $25 to receive their own unicorn license. We've put a link on our resource page. That's it for KidNuz. Now our KidNuz quiz, generously sponsored by the Bayless family of Catonsville, Maryland. Miles and Ezra, your mom and dad are so proud of you for being great students, teammates, and friends. And our KidNuz team would like to thank you for never missing an episode. Now, today's quiz. Who is this season's national champion for college football? The University of Georgia for the second year in a row. Where is Damar Hamlin recovering now? At a Buffalo hospital. What entire California community was ordered to evacuate due to rains and the threat of mudslides? Montecito. Thanks to Madeline, LA County is now offering everyone a chance to get a license for what kind of creature? Unicorns. In our KidNuz Kicker, proof that the first offer is often the best. The baseball fan who caught Aaron Judge's record-setting 60-second home run ball at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, turned down a private offer of $3 million, apparently thinking he'd make more at auction. He didn't. The ball ultimately sold for half that. Mark McGwire's 70th home run ball from 1998 is still the most expensive ever, having sold at auction for $3.05 million. Thanks again to the Bayless family of Catonsville, Maryland for sponsoring today's quiz, and a big shout out to our loyal listeners, Miles and Ezra. We also want to say hello to our KidNuz classrooms, starting with Mrs. Olson and her bears at Thomaston Center School in Thomaston, Connecticut. Mrs. Spangler and her stars at Golden Elementary in Etiwanda, California. Homeschooling mom, Donna Mills in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Ms. Liz at Elizabeth Lee Black School in Erie, Pennsylvania. And Mr. Heath at Belvedere South Middle School in Belvedere, Illinois. Thanks for listening. Remember to check out our critical thinking worksheet, The Noodler, up in the Teacher's Lounge section of our website. And we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.